Hello everybody! In this tutorial we're going to continue about the tree in Houdini as we see here. So we have this tree here at the moment and we're gonna swap all these leaves to quads instead, like this. So it's going to be more performant, and we're going to have branches for each leaf. So that's what we're going to make in this tutorial. So we have this branch and we're gonna swap all these leaves to branches, and the way we do this is similar to we have made it so far. We're gonna make a new trunk like this, and this trunk is length of 10. We're gonna make it 2. We're gonna render this. It doesn't really matter how we make this in the scale. I can actually show it right away how it's going to be. So we're going to have a, let's say, a grid, and this grid is going to be in the XI plane like this, and we're going to have UV flatten. So we have it UV'd because we're going to render on it, and it's going to be, we're going to, okay, so we will make it like this, maps baker. So let's say that everything is finished. We have this, this is our finished branch. So this is the high resolution, and this is our low resolution, and this one gonna have this one rendered on it. So this maps baker is included in this side effects labs folder or shelf, and we're gonna make sure that if we render it now, the little bit, this tiny thing going to be in the middle, so I can show it how it is. So here is the render and the output directory, and the hip name is the hip name up here. We don't need a hip name. We have pine tree, and the channel is color or AO. So we're going to have 2 different files here. And also we don't need this last part. So if we save now, it's going to be next to our hip folder in a subdirectory render and pine tree. And we're going to just make a really small one at the beginning so we can work fast. And also I'm not going to do the vertex color or ambient occlusion. Actually, I'm just going to do the ambient occlusion. And you also see here preview channel. Ambient occlusion is also already default here. So if I do render, we would have a kind of ambient occlusion thing here. And it didn't happen anything. So first off, we need to, actually, I'm gonna, yeah, we do transform. So if we press this visualize button here, this one will show what things it's going to be rendered on it. So we need to higher it up like this. So now it's inside the bounding box, right? And also I'm going to change the rows, this grid. I'm going to have it just 1 by 1 in size, and like this, and the row is going to be 2 and 2. So now it's actually too small, and I'm going to do the center. I'm going to put it up like 0.5, and then we can take this one. Well, actually we just do the size here, do this 1.5. So this is our branch, and if I now do render and look in our folder, let's see here in the render Here is the file and the render subdirectory. We delete these ones. And do it one more time. Render. And we open it up. And these are the old ones. We're going to close these ones. So here you see we have the trunk here, right? So this is the ambient thing. And if we do, let's say, diffuse map and render. I'm just gonna make sure we can see it here. So we're gonna have the render. See here we have the pine tree diffuse and we have the AO. So this is how it works, and I just want to show you the setup, how it's going to be in the end, because then you know what we're doing. But here in this part, it's going to be a nice branch instead. So we're going to lower it a little bit, and we're going to, in the noise, in the mesh noise, we're going to remove. And we're going to we're going to just make a linear like that. No, I mean a flat. So we're actually going to be happy with that, and then we're going to do a branch, labs 3 branch generator, and we're going to, in the noise, in the 3 branch noise, we're going to mesh noise remove. So we have it like this, and we're going to go into the general, and we're going to go back to the let's see, radius, that's what I'm looking for. And we want this one to be flat. And we also, we're going to have the length value. We're going to do a little bit random with it and shorter. So this one is going to be, yeah, something like this. I'm going to change this one. So I'm happy with this one actually. So now we're going to take this 3 simple leaf, just going to copy paste it here. And we're going to do the branch. No, we're going to do the leaf generator like this. So now you see, now we have leaves over here. And we're going to change these leaves. So if we go into shape, we're going to remove these parts here. And we're going to make the size, we're going to do the width. Where is it? Over here. So this is the leaf, and we're going to make sure a little bit more width like this. And we're going to, let's shape, we're going to remove the folding a little bit. And the bend, we don't need a bend. Yeah, a little bit bend could be okay. So if we go back here, we have all this pine stuff, right? And we're going to make sure that there's a lot of them. So we're going to go to the leaf, let's see, placement, and we're going to have leaf node distance, uniform scale. No, where is it? Okay, so this one we're going to lower. So we're going to have 0. 0.05. And I'm actually want even more. And I'm gonna have different size and uniform scale. And it's gonna be also, this one gonna be all over the place like this. And we're gonna go into the prune, no orientation. And I'm just gonna go 0 out everything. Then I'm gonna start working on it and gonna do the roll. And then we're gonna do the yaw. Actually, and then we're gonna do randomize yaw. And also we're gonna have pitch angle. And also randomize that one. It's more or less do this with everything. And I'm actually gonna make even more of these. So, and also I'm gonna just make a copy of this one and put this one in here because I also want on this one. But I'm gonna delete previous levels so I don't have the trunk. And then I'm gonna just merge these two together. And this one, I'm gonna just make sure they are a little bit more messed up in the orientation. So here I'm gonna do, see which one makes the work. Noise, we can take some noise on it and do that not so much and really small. See how that looks. Yeah, no, I didn't do any good. I'm actually gonna, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be fine. So I'm gonna just do the uniform scale a little bit bigger, and this is our high resolution. So now we're gonna plug in this one instead. And we're gonna render this one. So we're gonna move this one. We're gonna make it like this. We're gonna make a match size like this. Because this one is this one is not covering it all. It should be a little bit bigger, and it should also be in the back. So you can see down here you got the Z angle. So if we do like this and do the match, this one, if we take the Z direction, you can see it here, and we do the center, and then it's going to be the minimum, right? No. That's weird. Okay, I took this wrong one. We should, oh, okay, that's the X, this is the Z. So the min one, well, actually it's going to be the max one because we want the facing forward. So now we have it in the back, and we're also going to offset a little bit like this. And also we're going to make a transform. We're just going to scale in the X and in the I. And because of this, it's going to fit inside like this. So now when we render, and we can do render, and here we have it. So we have ambient occlusion and diffuse. So we have diffuse, and you see it's just white and black. So we need to add some colors to this, and we already here made them leaf and bark. So we're just gonna move them here We're gonna have this leaf here, and we have this gonna have this actually bark gonna be here. And we're gonna have this leaf 2 times because it's going from the leaf. Well, so I guess this one could be okay. So let's try. So now we have the bark is brown and the leaf is very dark green. So, and why I know it's green, it looks black, but here you see we have the pine tree green texture. So if we now render this one again. You see here, now we have it with the colors. So this is nice. And you see it's flipped upside down. So in this UV flatten, we can do this UV transform. We take this one and we just rotate in the Z, should be good. And if we do another render, no, Z is not the correct one. Of course not. So if we do like this, I want to rotate it like this, right? Well, that's strange. Well, this will work. We do a render. And here we have it. So now we have the diffuse, and we want the normal, and we want the opacity, and we want the ambient occlusion, and we also want a higher resolution. So if I render this, now you see we have them here. So if we open this one, and we put this ambient occlusion over it, and let's see, in the layers are hidden. Why is this? Show me the layers. Okay, here's the layers. So we're gonna take this ambient occlusion, and we're gonna just overlay it like this. So we see some shapes, and this is gonna be fine. And I'm also gonna do the actually do some curves. I'm gonna take the curves and just do it a little bit lighter like this. Yeah. And I'm gonna actually do the curves layer as overlay. No, I'm not gonna do that. Luminosity, because I don't want the colors to explode so much. So I'm gonna be happy with this one, and I'm gonna merge this one together, and I'm just gonna do file, export, quick export as PNG, and we're gonna place it next to the render, and I'm gonna do final on this one. So now when we have render out this one diffuse, if we do diffuse here, it's actually showing the diffuse. So I'm happy with this one. It could be a notch more work with this one, but it will take so much time from the tutorial. So I'm gonna leave it like this. Maybe I'm gonna update a little bit later. But here now we can, instead of have this leaf here, we're gonna have a quad, this grid, and this one we're gonna make it 1 by 1, and the row is gonna be 2 by 2. And we're also gonna make sure, so we have so you see, I'm actually gonna move this one here. Wait, this is gonna be on the X and Z plane. Yeah, this is correct. It's gonna be here. We want to move it a little bit further, because when in here, when we put the material, so this should be the material, and that's because we haven't, of course, made an UV of it. UV project. So here we have it. So this one gonna be instantiated instead. We're also gonna have an opacity texture. That's the correct one. So we're gonna go pick it to the opacity, accept. Okay, see, it doesn't work. I know this works if I restart the Houdini. So I will do file, save, and restart. So I'm just gonna pause until I restart it. Because now, here I actually loaded in the correct opacity, but even though it's not cut out. So I'm gonna just restart Houdini and it will be solved. All right, so I've restarted, but I had some issues with this, so it's supposed to work. So what I have here is I have the diffuse in here, and I have the opacity in here. And when I restarted, when I tried this out, it worked. So I don't really know why it doesn't work now. We're gonna pine tree leaf. So, but I'm gonna ignore it because it doesn't really affect the end result, because it's gonna be inside Unity. But you see, now we have these branches instead, like this. So this is super nice, and I'm gonna actually just gonna make one more adjustment. So we're gonna have the size ramp, and I'm just gonna do linear of this one and flip it, and do the scale up a bit, and do uniform scale variation. Because now we have and also here I'm gonna make it a little bit like this. So now we have these leaves ready, and if we save it and look inside Unity, we're starting to get there. So in the next tutorial, I'm gonna tweak a little bit in this tree, and then we're gonna make the shaders to make it work. So thank you so much, and see you in the next one.